You ever get that feeling like someone is watching you? Not in a paranoid way, I mean deep in your gut. Like something in your body just knows something is wrong, even before your brain catches up. That's how it all started for me. Clean cut, brown hair, a little scruffy, but his smile was killer. He had one of those golden retriever faces, warm, harmless, sweet. He messaged first, "I usually hate this app, but your smile changed my mind." "You seem like sunshine?" Cringe. "Sure, but I was lonely. I had just moved to Austin for grad school. Didn't know many people yet, and it felt nice to have someone notice me." Our conversation flowed easily. He didn't ask weird questions. No weird texts. He asked about my favorite books, what I like to do on weekends, and even sent a playlist after we talked. About 90s. R&B, his taste was weirdly similar to mine. By the third night of talking, I felt like I knew him. He was charming, but not too much. Flirty, but never pushy. So yeah, I agreed to a date. We met at a coffee shop called Flat Track. It was public, crowded, and had lots of windows, the kind of place I usually feel safe in. When I saw him walk in, my breath caught a little. He looked exactly like his pictures. Maybe even better. He was wearing a green button-up and jeans, and when he smiled at me, I swear the whole room lit up. We talked for hours. He asked questions and really listened. Didn't interrupt. Didn't check his phone once. He told me I reminded him of someone from his childhood, his older cousin who used to read. Scary stories to him at night. He said I had the same calm energy. It was flattering in a weirdly intimate way. By the end of the night, I felt butterflies. Not in a high school crush way more like this could turn into something real. He walked me to my car, hugged me tight, and whispered, "Drive safe, okay?" But here's the thing, I never told him what my car looked like. And when I asked how he found me in the parking lot, he just smiled and said, "Lucky guess." The next day, he didn't text. Then the next. Maybe I read it wrong. Maybe he wasn't feeling it. Then I got a knock on my door. Not a buzz, a knock. I live in a gated apartment complex. You can't get in without a code. I looked through the peephole. Empty hallway. No one there. I chalked it up to a neighbor or maybe a delivery. But then I got a text. From an unknown number. It said, "Your red doormat is cute. The cactus print is very you." My heart dropped. That mat was new. I hadn't posted it online. Hadn't shown it to friends. Hadn't mentioned it to anyone. I replied instantly, "Who is this?" No answer. I blocked the number. That night I didn't sleep. I kept replaying our date in my head. Had I said something? Mentioned a landmark? A street name? But I'm careful. Always have been. And then I remembered, when we hugged goodbye, he leaned in close. Too close. My hair had moved aside. My tattoo? I have a small, unique tattoo behind my ear. A geometric symbol that's not common. I posted it once, a year ago, on an old Instagram that's now private, but I remembered the caption. Finally done. Inked in East Austin, right near home. That's all it would have taken. I didn't go to class the next day. Didn't leave my apartment. I turned off location on everything. Deleted old accounts. Bought pepper spray. Put a chair under the doorknob like in the movies. I thought maybe it was over. Then I got the envelope. No return address. Just my name in all caps, written in red pen. Inside was a picture of me, standing in line at the coffee shop, waiting for our first date. It wasn't a selfie. It had been taken from outside the window, from far away. On the back, one sentence. "I liked watching you more than meeting you." I went to the police. They told me to block him. Sighed without a direct threat. They couldn't do much. Suggested I stay with friends if I felt unsafe. So I did. I stayed at my friend Mia's for a few days. Didn't go online. Didn't use my phone. When I finally turned it back on, there was another message. A new number. It's cute how you think leaving your apartment changes anything. You forget I met you through your phone? I threw up. Mia and I went full paranoia mode. Checked my laptop for spyware, got a new phone, changed every password, covered webcams. I even bought one of those signal blocking pouches to keep my phone in when I wasn't using it. For a few weeks, everything went quiet. I started to breathe again, until the last message came, from another number. No words, just an image. It was a screenshot of my Hinge profile, but the background was different. It had been edited poorly, like in MS Paint. My eyes were scribbled out, and across my forehead in red it said, "Found you." I moved cities 3 days later, changed my name on social media, started using Cashmore, deleted every dating app forever. People say dating is hard these days. They have no idea. I've always been a private guy. Not in a creepy, mysterious way. Just, I like my space. I work remotely, don't go out much, and my apartment is my sanctuary. Books, jazz vinyls, blackout curtains, the whole peaceful introvert starter pack. So dating apps were kind of a gamble for me. Too many people, too much small talk. But one night, out of boredom or loneliness or both, I downloaded Bumble again. That's how I met her, Talia. Her profile was simple, a single photo, no makeup, curled up with a cat on her lap. Brown eyes, shy smile, dark curly hair. She said she loved old bookstores and thunderstorms. She had me at thunderstorms. I swiped right. She messaged first, "Your bookshelf is impressive." I counted 7 Murakami titles. That's commitment. I checked. She was right, the bookshelf was visible in one of my pictures. We talked for hours. Then for days. Her responses were thoughtful. She wasn't flirty or trying too hard. She was quiet in the way I liked. Peaceful, smart, kind of old soul energy. You know when someone feels familiar? That was her. After a week, I asked if she wanted to come over. I know, dumb idea, right? But she didn't hesitate. Only if I can bring coffee and a book. She showed up that Friday. I remember the exact moment she walked in. It was raining. She wore this oversized brown sweater, had no umbrella. Her hair was wet and curly around her face. She looked around my place like she already knew it, like she belonged there. She brought me a copy of The Secret History and 2 cinnamon lattes. We talked, listened to Nina Simone, read silently for a bit. It wasn't awkward. It felt like breathing. When she left around midnight, she gave me this soft smile and said, "Thank you for the quiet." She started coming over twice a week. Sometimes we cooked. Sometimes she just curled up on the couch while I worked. She never overstayed, never pressured anything physical, never brought chaos into my space. I didn't even realize how much. I'd grown used to her until the week she didn't come. I texted, no reply, called straight to voicemail. I figured maybe she was ghosting, or worse, maybe I'd misread the whole thing. Then I noticed something. Her book was still on the coffee table, The Secret History, with a coffee stain on the corner. Her lipstick mark on the mug beside it. I didn't touch it. A few days later, I got a package. No return address. Inside, a Polaroid of me, sleeping in my bed. No message. No context. Just that one photo? My blood ran cold. I live on the 3rd floor, with blackout curtains, and I sleep with the door locked. I went to the leasing office, asked if anyone had been inside my apartment. No maintenance orders. No strange activity. No key signed out. They checked security footage at the gate. No Talia, no visitors, nothing, but I knew what I saw. I searched her name online, nothing, no social media, no LinkedIn. No mention of her anywhere. That's when it hit me. She never gave me her last name. I went back through our chats. All our conversations were normal, but vague. She never talked about work. Never showed me pictures of her family. Her Bumble profile was gone now, deleted or unmatched. I searched my apartment top to bottom. Every closet, under the bed. Inside air vents, nothing. Until I opened the small storage closet near my bathroom. There was a smell, like damp clothes and something else. Something sour. In the very back corner, behind old paint cans and a box of Christmas lights. A bunched up sweater, brown, oversized, her sweater. I called the cops. They searched. Found no signs of forced entry, no evidence of break-in, no trace of her existence. But I knew. I could feel it. Something was wrong. I started hearing noises at night. Not loud. Just the faintest creak of floorboards. A whisper of fabric shifting. Once, I thought I heard humming. I'd sit up in bed, heart pounding, silence, every morning. I found things moved. Just slightly. My laptop cable unplugged. My cereal box turned sideways. One day, my toothbrush was wet and warm, like someone had just used it. I started leaving traps. Hair across doors. Flour on the floor. For weeks, nothing happened. Then one morning, I woke up to footprints. Bare feet, small, leading from my hallway. Into the closet. The door was shut again. I opened it slowly, empty, except this time, her book was on the floor. Open to the page she'd last read aloud. And inside it, a note, "Thank you for the quiet." I never left. I moved out within the week. Burned the book. Changed my number. Deleted the app, again, but sometimes when the room is dark and still, I hear breathing. Right behind the closet door. I never trusted dating apps. Something about the idea of swiping through people. Like menu items made me uncomfortable. But after my breakup, my friends kept pushing. Just try it. You don't have to marry anyone. Just talk, flirt, distract yourself. So I did. I downloaded Tinder and promised myself I'd be chill. No expectations. No attachments. And that's when I matched with Lucas. At first glance, he looked safe. He had this dorky smile in all his pictures, one where he was holding a pizza, another where he was making a peace sign at a cat cafe, and one where he wore socks with little tacos on them. He messaged me right away. "Are you the kind of person who judges pineapple on pizza or accepts chaos?" I laughed. We clicked. He was funny, self-deprecating, never pushy. He told me he worked tech support at a call center and loved horror movies, but was too scared to watch them alone. I teased him. He teased me back. Within a few days, we were texting late into the night. But here's where it started to feel off. He never wanted to video call. Every time I brought it up, either jokingly or seriously, he'd dodge the topic or claim he looked like a mess. One time he said, "Trust me, I don't want your phone to crack from my ugly face." I told myself not to overthink it. Maybe he was just shy or insecure. People move at their own pace, right? But then the little things started to pile up. One night he texted, "That green hoodie looks cute on you." I froze. I was wearing a green hoodie at home, alone. I hadn't posted it. Hadn't gone outside. I texted him back, "How do you know what I'm wearing?" He replied instantly, "Lucky guess. You give green hoodie vibes." I tried to laugh it off, but deep down something felt wrong. My gut twisted. So I tested him. The next day, I posted an old picture of myself wearing a red dress, different hairstyle. Different room, obvious filter. I captioned it, "Feeling bold today." A few hours later, Lucas messaged me, "You look so good in red. That's my favorite color on you." I hadn't worn that dress in over 6 months. My blood ran cold. I didn't respond. I called my friend Danny and told her everything. She said what I was already thinking, "You're being watched." I locked my windows. Slept with my phone under my pillow. Stopped posting anything recent. Then I got the message that changed everything. Why aren't you texting me back? I was about to reply when I noticed something strange. His contact name. It didn't say Lucas anymore. It said Aaron. I opened the chat thread. All the messages were still there, the pizza jokes, the horror movie convos, the flirty banter, but the name had changed. I'd never saved his number. Tinder just moved us to SMS and it always auto-filled as Lucas. Now it said Aaron. I couldn't breathe. I sat there, phone in hand, sweating, shaking, trying to make sense of it. Was this a scam? A prank? Someone using his old number? I called the prison. After 2 hours of transfers and waiting on hold, someone finally picked up. I didn't tell her the full story, just asked if Aaron Jacobs was still there. She paused, then said, he was. Released 3 months ago. That night, someone knocked on my door. Not the doorbell, just a soft knock. Over and over. Not loud, not fast, just steady. I didn't move. I didn't breathe. After 10 minutes, it stopped. I peeked through the blinds. No one. But there was something taped to the outside of my door. A note. It said, we already talked for weeks. Don't pretend you don't know me. I went to the police. Showed them everything, the texts, the name change, the photo, the number. They opened a report but said unless he physically threatened me or entered my home, there wasn't much they could do. If I wanted a restraining order, I'd need to go through the process, which would take time. I packed my things and moved in with Danny for a while. Got a new phone. Changed my number. Deleted Tinder again. A month later, I was leaving a grocery store when someone behind me said, "Excuse me, did you drop this?" I turned around. A man stood there holding a set of keys. Tall, shaggy brown hair. That dorky smile. And socks with tacos. My heart nearly stopped. He looked exactly like the man in the Tinder. Pictures exactly, but something was off. His eyes weren't warm or goofy. They were cold, blank, focused, wrong. I backed away, muttered something like, "No, thanks," and rushed to my car. I didn't look back. I just drove. When I got in, I noticed something on the passenger side window. A smear, like someone had leaned against the glass. Forehead, maybe. I never went back to that store. To this day, I don't know if Lucas ever really existed. Were those his real pictures? Did he steal someone's identity? Or was it all completely fake? All I know is he learned everything about me. My clothes, my apartment, my schedule, without ever showing me his real face. And if I hadn't pulled away when I did, I might have invited him in.